views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, but you're encouraged to like and share them on Facebook. It's time now for the Sue Ellen-Sanders Show with your host, Sue Ellen-Sanders.
Welcome to the Sue Ellen-Sanders Show, and my guest is Suzanne Dannahower.
But you can call me Sue.
But I can call you Sue, a girl named Sue.
That's correct.
And Sue and I go way back, and she's been on the show a fair amount, mainly representing Main Street, but also you've always been very involved in the community.
I have.
So, and now as Main Street Fort Pierce's president, you are charging ahead with the lead on continuing to raise funds for Main Street Fort Pierce, as well as let people know what Main Street Fort Pierce does, continues to do, and to bring people to the Fort Pierce area who haven't been in the past. A lot of times, you know, if you're living in Port St. Lucie, or you might be living in Stewart and working up here, you don't have an opportunity to come downtown as much as you might like. And this is an opportunity. The event itself is at the Pelican Yacht Club, but you do have to drive through our downtown area to get there.
Right, and this is the only event that we put on that is that costs money. We put on over 30 events yearly. We just put on the 4th of July celebration, and 99% of the events, except for this one, or I would say 100% of the events, except for this one, are free to our community.
And of course, the most famous of the Main Street Fort Pierce events is probably Friday Fest.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you're going to brag about Main Street, but I will go ahead and brag about Main Street.
Thank you.
Because not only is Main Street Fort Pierce is a leader in the community, but they're also a leader for other Main streets throughout the United States. And you've won awards.
We have.
And
we won the Great American Main Street Award, which was a very prestigious award that was several years ago. Not many Main Street organizations are around for 30 years like we have been. Most of them come in and they do a project and then they disappear. But we've done a number of projects, including the Sunrise Theater, the Tickle Tummy Hill, the Platt's Bacchus House, Beanie Bacchus's old house.
You continue to look for
know.
future projects.
And we do. And one of the future projects we have on our plate is to surround the old what is it called? The power plant area that we have up for bids right now. It currently has a chain link fence around it, and we're going to work with the artists around town and the art community and the school systems to put some nice, beautiful murals and sculptures and things around that area.
And the thing about Main Street is that sometimes if you do go there frequently, you might not notice all the changes because they might happen gradually. But I remember driving into downtown Fort Pierce 28 years ago when I first came to town, and it was a very different downtown Fort Pierce. The Main Street program had only been around a couple of years, and things take time to develop. But, every little thing that's happened, I remember when you all put in the new street lights and paved the streets and changed the road direction and coordinated roundabouts, and the start of renovating the Sunrise Theater, and how exciting the bringing the old City Hall back to life as an entertainment and an office venue. A lot of terrific things have gone on in downtown Fort Pierce, and Main Street Fort Pierce has been at the forefront of it all.
Yes, we like to think that we are. We are downtown. Our offices are downtown in the Platts Bacchus House, and we will continue to stay there until such time as we're not here anymore. I guess I don't know.
It will never happen.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it'll
Well,
never
no.
happen.
Doris Tillman is, our head woman there, and at some point she's going to have to retire. Not sure how soon, but she will at some point.
Actually, Doris and I go way back too. She is the woman who took my son to the movies for the first time.
Really?
Yes, 25. Well, no, I guess he was like maybe 3 or 4, so about 20, 22 years ago.
Oh, funny.
Because I used to be a volunteer for the Main Street office when I was freelancing, and a lot of times I'd stop by there and I'd have my kids with me. And Doris is just such an unusual person. She gets along with people of all ages, but she especially gets along with little kids. And
Even though she has none.
She has none, but she's probably adopted, informally, of course,
Right,
little
right.
kids from all over. So,
And donkeys and peacocks.
yes, and all
you
the
name it.
animals that she has actually taken into her home or taken into her yard. So she's a terrific leader.
Yes,
and,
she is.
She has been at Main Street for so long and implemented so many exciting programs and fundraising ideas. The reverse raffle that we started to talk about,
Right.
that is the event that is coming up. It's coming up on Saturday, August 18th, and it is at the Pelican Yacht Club, but it is a Main Street Fort Pierce event. And what year is this?
This is year 24. So we've
Good
been doing this
golly.
24
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
I think we started outside in the streets of 2nd Street.
You did,
and,
yeah.
And then we
I
moved a
remember.
couple of times, and Pelican Yacht Club has always seemed to be the place to go. And this year we have our celebrity auctioneers, Chris Kraft and Chris Zadowski.
The Chris's.
The Chris's.
Chris Squared. I'll be curious to see what they call each other.
And tickets are $100, but that gets you get 2 people into. Admits a couple, gives you one of your ticket number so that you can win the $2,000 hopefully.
And that's the reverse raffle, of course, is just what it sounds like. You pull tickets, and the last one standing is the winner.
Actually, like the last 5 or 6
yeah,
standing.
because
but yes.
but the big winner.
But the big winner,
yeah,
$2,000, is the last ticket pulled off the board.
So $100 pays for 2. So if you're bringing a friend or significant other, or a
Family member,
member,
children come
yeah,
too. I
'cause
mean,
children,
it's a lot of
yeah.
fun. But we have some really good sponsors this year, and our main event sponsor is Associated Coastal ENT Physicians, and they're the ones on 25th Street. You said you were aware of who they are: Dr. Allen and Dr. Slack, Michelle Richards, who is my doctor, and Jesse Phillips and Nicole Thompson.
Yes, and they're awesome, and they're always so involved in the community, and I'm excited that they're stepping forward to be your Pacific Princess sponsor. And we should probably, before we explain the names of the different sponsors, we need to tell people that the theme of this
theme,
year's reverse raffle
is Love Boat.
Is the
Love
we got to
Boat.
say it the right way. The Love Boat.
and Pam Gillette, who just left us a couple of months ago, she had been with the organization for 14 years, and she had to get her last naming convention in here for the reverse raffle. So she's the one who selected Love Boat as her leaving the company.
I love it.
I like it too.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of
It's really
fun.
And our entertainment sponsor is Sunrise Ford on US 1. I'm sure you know Mary Jo and Mike Wetzel. So.
Again, another company that is very active in the
Right.
community. And so each year, the sponsors that are recruited to come in. They help defer the costs of doing the event itself, so a lot of the money that's raised goes straight to Main Street Fort Pierce as the fundraiser. And then in addition to that, you always have an auction table. You have both silent auctions and a live auction.
Yes, we do. And again, back for the the live auction, Colleen Nashbeck, she's committed to painting a watercolor for us. Anita Prentice and her mosaics always go over big. And Doretha Hare Truesdell is the wife of the original highwayman Alfred Hare, is also donating again this year. And then we have an Adams Country safari tour and lunch and fishing trip and Yeti cooler and just dinners and all kinds of fun stuff on the live auction.
So, literally something that anybody might be interested in, or everybody might be interested.
Everybody, that's right.
And then your
Good
silent
food.
auction table, too. Tables, because there's always a bunch of them.
Yeah, we usually have 150 items or so.
Yeah.
And they're good things like we've got an aerial tour given by one of the flying people in St. Lucie County, the flying classes in St. Lucie County. Pontoon boat rentals, mayor for the day, fire chief for the day, facial. Yesterday I picked up $1,000 worth of laser body sculpting.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's we've got a lot of neat things. And also you're going to donate a talk show host.
Of course, talk show hosts for the day as well. And can people still donate items to you for the auction table?
Absolutely. Yes, we'd love to have it.
How do people purchase tickets or donate items?
All right, to purchase tickets, you can either go online, and our website is Main Street Fort Pierce, all spelled out, .org. You can purchase online, or you can call our offices, 772-618-0155, or you can call me, 772-618-0155. Oh,
you gave that number twice because I was going to say I still remember Main Street's phone number is 466-3880.
Thank you.
Yes.
772.
I'm so confused. The office and your phone number. No, that's okay. And Cliff usually adds some words to the program so people who are watching it on demand will be able to see the words, or people can also call. Of course, you can go on Facebook or on the website. I'm sure there is a Main Street Fort Pierce Reverse Raffle event
there is.
On the Facebook page. Right. And then you also have a Main Street Fort Pierce website that people can go
Correct.
to and get more information. You can also, you said you can purchase tickets.
That's correct.
So
I'm not sure if it's set up yet because we're still a month away from the event, but I believe that's going to happen next week.
All right. So the event itself, again, August 18th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And your ticket admits you. And you get, what do you get with your ticket along with your reverse raffle event
number.
ticket?
Okay. We will have light fare appetizers. We're the last big event. Actually, we're the last event for the Pelican Yacht Club. And so they basically pull out all the stops and make it a really nice cocktail hour and appetizers.
And everything is always so beautifully done at the Pelican Yacht Club. Now, a friend of mine has stepped up and is working on your committee too, and I know Brenda Stokes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Brenda, of course, is with the St. Lucie Fire District, and she is working on the committee, and you have some other people from the community that are also a part of the committee that have helped driven this event.
Right, and I should have brought a list with me, but I don't seem to have a list
with me. Okay, that's okay.
But there's Ann Sadley. Actually, Pam Gillette has come back to help us with this
Yeah,
event.
so the only difference is you're not paying Pam anymore.
That's
She's doing it for
correct.
free.
That's
God
correct.
bless her. The Main Street Fort Pierce event itself, this is an annual event, but you also have other fundraisers that take place over the year. Of course, the big one, of course, being Friday Fest.
We have the Sandy Shoes Taste of the Sea Seafood Festival, and we have 4th of July, and we have several art parties at the Bacchus House throughout the year. Mostly in November, it's Anita Prentice. December, it's always it's always Colleen Nash Beck.
And we're so lucky to have such talented artists that live right here and that create right here. And both of them, both Anita and Colleen, their art reflects the Treasure Coast. Of course, with Colleen, watercolor design and painting, although a lot of her watercolors have found their way on the back of T-shirts and other material. Doesn't she have like
12A Bowie? All of their waitresses and waiters wear her shirts. Yes.
Well, yeah, but I think she has been in this area for so long, and her art has grown with her, and it's gotten to the point, I think someday, that somebody's going to look back, and the way they say Beanie Bacchus, they're going to be saying Colleen Nash Beck.
I think so too.
Or Anita Prentice, who of course is infamous for her mosaics
yes.
and the benches that are all over the city, all over the county.
And the intermodal station too on Avenue D.
Yes.
She did a wonderful job on that particular one.
And she's left her mark, so to speak, her tiles mark. She's also, taught classes, so she's trained others behind her. And again, these ladies are going to be, in 50 years or so, they'll have left their mark both physically and then also in people's memories, and knowing that they were part of the art community that came from the Treasure Coast, because their work is far beyond the Treasure Coast.
Yes, it is.
And you're really lucky to have artwork by both of them.
We are very,
as
very fortunate.
Part of the live
auction.
auction.
As well as Doretha Hare Truesdale.
Yes, and of course the Highwaymen are already a historical part of our community.
Right, and it's Doretha whose husband started the Highwaymen along with Beanie Bacchus.
Yeah.
Actually, Beanie Bacchus trained Alfred Hare, who then became her husband.
It's very impressive to see our culture of artistic talent that it has been visible on the Treasure Coast, and this is a terrific opportunity at the Reverse Raffle to see it and see what they've done. And a lot of us are familiar with it already, but you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. You can see their latest stuff, and at the same time, you're supporting Main Street Fort Pierce.
Right, and the artists do attend this event as well.
So you get to meet them, too, if you haven't already met them.
That's right.
And that's great.
And we won't be selling tickets at the door. We've been selling out the last couple of years, so we will not be selling them at the door this year.
Okay, well, I'm trying to think if I have a checkbook in the car, because I'm like ready to buy my ticket, but I can get it on the website as well.
Absolutely.
I can get it there, because this is really the Fort Pierce event not to be missed. It kind of marks the end of the summer, the beginning of the new school year, so to speak, and you get to meet and greet your friends and meet new friends too. In past years, with some of the different themes, you've encouraged people to dress with the theme, whether it's been luau or prom or some of the. I know I'm going.
I know. I
pretty
can't
far
even
back.
remember. That's right. Last year was 007.
Yes.
and theme. So this year with the Love Boat, you can wear anything you want. We tried doing like really formal events, and people really didn't.
No.
Yeah, they didn't care about that. So
but it's fun to get dressed up.
Yeah, but
and
the
you
guys
know,
don't seem to like it.
I think this one's going to be different because the
Okay.
guys can wear captain's hats, and they can wear like ships' captains' jackets and
or
stuff
they
like
can
that.
wear funky shirts.
A cruise ship, they could be the person on the cruise ship, and that every guy has those cruise ship looking flowery shirts in their closet,
And
so it's a good
flip-flops
opportunity.
But no bikinis, please.
Yes. No bikinis, not on the guys either.
No.
Okay.
No.
But on girls, whatever you would wear on a cruise ship.
Yeah, you can be as fancy as you want because some people go to the shows in the evenings, right?
Yeah.
And then you can just wear flip flops and shorts if you want to.
So you don't have to stress about what you're going to wear, but you can get dressed up, or you can just be dressed casual. But the important thing is to be there.
That's right.
Absolutely. To be there. So $100 per ticket, but the ticket is entry for 2.
That's correct.
And
the event is again on Saturday, August the 18th, from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock p.m. at the Pelican Yacht Club.
All right. So if you want to buy tickets, you can get them online. You can get them by calling, and then you can stop by and give you a check.
And I'll give you the correct phone number again. It's 772-466-3880, and that's for the Main Street office.
Yes, absolutely.
And online, it's Main Street Fort Pierce, all spelled out, .org.
That's great. And we'll have that information here if you want to call during the week. One thing about Main Street, too, is, for example, Suzanne, who's here today, you're a volunteer. You're head volunteer because you're president of the organization. But you have a very small full-time staff. Most of the work is done by volunteers.
Right.
So if you're interested in helping out and being a volunteer, you can also contact
the office as well.
The office.
And just ask for me or leave a message for Sue Dannahower, and I'll be more than happy to put you on the volunteer list.
All right. Or some of the things that volunteers can do, of course, is, help to pour beer Friday Fest,
right.
to
also
help plan events.
Yeah, like we're going to be doing the mailing list for the invitations next week, and we need stuffers and people who want to put stamps on. If you're good at computers, I got all kinds of fun things that you can do.
Good. Also, I remember this happened one year. Friends of mine said to me, well, I wasn't invited. I didn't get an invitation. And I want you all to know, everybody listening, that you don't need to get an invitation to be invited. You just have to call and make your reservation or purchase your ticket to be invited, because you can't possibly mail invitations to everybody.
No, we can't.
So consider this your invitation
Yes.
to attend the infamous reverse raffle for Main Street Fort Pierce, which includes the live and silent auction, and will take place on August 18th. And then if you have any other things, if you want to
donate to the live or silent auctions, we would love to have donations from you.
And if you want to be a sponsor of a future event, you can contact Sue again.
Correct.
Because she's a woman of very many talents. Thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate you coming by the station. And hopefully we'll see you in our cruise ship attire, the Love Boat attire, on August 18th. And it should be a lot of fun. And, of course, Main Street Fort Pierce is going to continue to grow and continue to do wonderful things. And so you can feel like you're a part of it by doing this. So thanks again. Thank you for joining me as well. And we'll be here next week with more. Have a great week.
You've been listening to the Sue Ellensanders Show, heard every Friday night at 6:05 right here on Digital 1590 WPSL. Archives of the program can be found at WPSLTV.com. That takes you directly to our YouTube presence. You'll find our archives there, including the Sue Ellen Sanders Show.